Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the town of Otter. This is Minecraft Mike here playing some Animal Crossing GameCube yet again. Spending way too much time playing this just old classic game. And look at our house. It is now fully expanded on the first floor. So we got a little roof over our head now, which kind of covers up. I don't remember that being there. Because it kind of covers up the door, and you can actually put patterns on the door, and I haven't touched on that feature yet. But yeah, so this is all good. We got the house going. Of course, I knew I'd have lots of letters today, but I don't know what all of those are. Tom Nook. Oh yeah, I ordered that fan for the island, and I forgot to deliver that yesterday, so I'm not even sure if he's going to still want it. T-Rex is finished now. Stegosaurus, I think that's finished as well. But just in case it's not, I'll double check on that. What else we got? Home. Oh, my dear Mike, it's the darnest thing. I just noticed the marks we drew up on the wall to measure your height as you grew up. How tall are you now? Pretty short if you're gonna go in this game, but then again, I'm also the size of like a bear. So, what is this? Okay, Spaceman Sam, get rid of a whole bunch of crap here. Boom, boom, all can go away. Okay, well, that's taken care of. Folks in town, of course, there's going to be no one new moving into town because our town is at full capacity. So unless we get a goodbye letter from someone moving, we won't have anyone. And unlike other games, you don't get a heads up if someone's going to move. They kind of just move, which sort of stinks. And then you can force people to move by traveling to other towns. When you visit another town or have a visitor come to your town, it's going to guarantee that you probably are going to swap a villager or so. And it's kind of random how it picks it, but that can happen. So, and these things are still around. I think they're around until like May 7th or something like that. So they're going to be around for a few more days. I guess the big thing to do today is to check on our house first, which I totally forgot to do, and then the mayor. See if he's ready to build a bridge down at the beach today. Yes, so 2 more spaces to build, which is quite awesome. I guess I haven't shown my house then. I've been doing some work on it. I had quite a few cabana items, so I'll do this off screen. But you can see this was how I had laid the house out. It's kind of coming together a little bit. Cabana or modern is probably what I was going to do in this room for the summer. And then I have that Mario trophy there and the goldfish. And look, the goldfish is missing a texture on its top. It just has 2 side textures together, giving it a little 3D shape. And if it turns again, you'll see, yeah, you can see like right into it. It's kind of weird that it's like that. All right. Then down in the basement, what I've done here, got some office lockers. They're stuffed with junk. I just put a few things down here that I wanted to keep just really of storage. This umbrella Missy had for me, I forgot about it. It's the Nintendo umbrella. So I think that's like Nintendo's logo in Japan or something. And it cost 64 bells. So I guess it was patronage to the Nintendo 64. All right. Let's go first check on Tortimer before we do anything else. I lied. We're actually going to go talk to Nook first, see how much we owe on the house, and then we'll make our way down to see if Tortimer is down at the beach. As that's really the 2 main reasons why we recorded this episode. All right, Nook. Your smiling face is like a treasure in the discount rack of my day. As I'm sure you've noticed, your house is finished. How do you like it? You pleasured with the work? You'll soon learn to love all that extra space. I assure you now there's plenty of room for furniture, and that there is. I always hate this part, but we need to settle the matter of the cost of your remodeling, which is something you should do before you do remodeling, but it's okay. Building expenses are costly right now, I'm afraid. Yes, the bill came to 398,000 bells. Now you see why I built the basement first, because otherwise we'd have to pay that much money to get ourselves the basement. So I always do the basement first, because that is a huge jump up from the last one. 400,000 stinking bells, and then we'll get the upstairs. Okay, so that is a ton of money, and it's going to take us a long time to do, but maybe in the near future I will be able to do more. Oh, look, there's the Nintendo umbrella. It's here today. Nintendo Parcel. 64 bells. Whatever. Oh my gosh, look what we got there. It's a shame we already got it, though. He's got the grass model for sale today, but We already have this. And we already have that cabana item. And that's because Missy picked this up as a gift from a neighbor. Some other models you can get from Nook that I know we're still looking for: the dirt model, which is essentially this, but with a square of dirt in it. You also get the track model, like the train track model. So I'm going to buy these, though, because we're going to be planting these around town when we go run around. Oh, and that axe. I'll buy that axe as well. Since I've used up 1.5 axes now, cutting some trees, starting to slowly work on the perfect town. And if the mayor is not out and about, then I'm going to do that. Talk about that in the last chunk of this episode. But I know the last ones were kind of long because I talked way too much detail about the island and stuff and didn't actually do anything. I just like stood there half the time when I was editing it. I was like, what in the world was I doing? But we'll go ahead and grab this. Still haven't touched the signboards yet, but that's okay. I haven't made any patterns yet either. I did buy a new organizer, as you saw in there. So that happened as well. Okay, let's go run down to find Tortimer now, which I hope he's out. And I love the music for 2 p.m. So I recommend the music in the Greats Morning. Again, I haven't had the music playing, but if you would like to go hear it, I recommend going to go hear it. 2 p.m. is a great one, in addition to all the morning stuff, pretty much. I'll dig up stuff later. All right. I also think I have fully befriended Sable. Dang, he's not here. Unless he's on the other side. And maybe he does show up every other day. That might have kind of been the deal. It's every other day. I still never really figured out how this worked, but we'll check the other side. I didn't check up by Nooks. I checked on the other side of the river. Okay, well this could be a very big bummer. Well, that's okay. We haven't talked about the wishing well yet, so I'll be doing that next. And sorry for just bumping my mic. Gonna plant some of these flowers here. And go peek up here first, because this is where he was last time. And he's not. And again, like I said, it might be actually every other day when you ask him to move. Dang. And that's why he didn't show up that one time at night. I see no mayor. Yes. I hear someone walking. Oh, there's the mayor. He is down here. He's walking on the beach. I hope they're not going to put the bridge like right here, because that would be horrible to have to run out this little crack. I would assume the bridge is going to go right here. But either way, we're going to go ahead and build it. Because I don't want it at the top, and the other one was on the okay, so. Well, if it isn't young Mike, where are you skipping off to today? Ah, kids in their youth, how I envy you little sprouts. My shell's so heavy, just lugging it around is a chore. But enough of that, I've got duties. Yepper, as mayor, there's a problem I'm supposed to resolve. Was that again? Really had gotten under my shell a little bit ago, but oh, right, of course. Several villagers have been raising quite the ruckus lately, saying the town needs a new bridge. So I'm considering building the new bridge somewhere around here, but I just can't decide where to build it. What do you think, Mike? Having seen your other two options, I think here is the best of the three, and I don't really think there's anything in between, and this is where I want it. So here is good. You think, do you? Well, you're on my side, then I'm sure everyone else will go for it too. Alrighty, I do believe I'll make arrangements to have the bridge completed as soon as possible. Yepper. Go hiking across the river? We did good work here, Mike. Hey, Horf! Oh, gosh. Okay, so the bridge is going to go somewhere here, and it's going to be a rope bridge. And as I mentioned before, we have the stone bridges in town, which actually have the little arch, but your town may have been built with the wooden bridges, which are flat. And then the bridge that's going to get built here is a rope bridge, which is kind of neat that it's a little makeshift bridge. And I actually didn't know about this whole bridge building thing. It was Zerthik who was the first person that brought this to my attention about the building bridge when we were playing Animal Crossing way back in the day. But there's our trees growing. Oh, look, they're growing nicely. I replaced all of the normal trees with palm trees, essentially, um, which is how I decided to go this route. I think Katrina's in town today, but I'm not sure if she shows up tonight. Let's see. Maybe she's here already. We can get a fortune before I do any other digging up and activities around town, just in case we want to make a little extra money. Yes, I'm thinking she shows up at night, just like Red does, and then stays through the next day. I think she's like a 6 p.m. one day to 6 p.m. the next day or something. So we might see her in the episode tomorrow, but oh shoot, I just meant to go walk in the house, in the room. We might see her tomorrow in the episode, but I think that'll be, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Yeah, I guess we'll go talk to the wishing well, and then I'm gonna pick up on the rest of my daylight activities. Yeah, we already have the Stegosaurus. So I need the Stegosaurus tail is what I need. Yeah, so all of these are good to go. Only a few more fossils left, believe it or not. So it won't be too bad. Been making lots of money from selling them, though, that's for sure. Okay, we're going to go check by the wishing well. Wishing well is something else I've ignored. I mean, it's kind of funny. A few of these things you usually talk about in the very first episodes of the game, but I kind of put them off. The wishing well has a few purposes other than hosting events and where the mayor hangs out. And you can actually interact with the wishing well right here. What errand do you have of the wishing well of Otter? We'll go ahead and click on what's this. So this is the Otter wishing well. It's where one comes to learn the status of things in town in regards to the environment. So do you have a perfect town status as far as trees, plants, is the town clean? The usual perfect town criteria that other Animal Crossings have. The travelers will come here. So the other reason you have this is if you have to run a task for a neighbor and say the neighbor moves away into random town or it moves to another player's town and you can't get to that other player's town to deliver the gift, if you hold on to it for like a week or two, eventually the well will let you just dispose of the item here and apologize for not being able to deliver it. So I don't have any stuff to apologize for, like if you do a task for a neighbor or something. I don't have any of those, and I've only used it a few times because usually if I was doing something, delivering something to someone else, and then the neighbor picks up and moves, and sometimes even the villagers will be like, oh, you know, Twiggy moved away, and do you know where she moved to? Like, I think she moved to blah 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 town, and it was a town that you had visited a couple days ago. So then she's like, oh, can you give this to her if you see her? Or can you go back to that town and give this to her? And then you're like, oh, well, shoot, that was my cousin, and I'm not going to see him again until Christmas. So then you're stuck with the item for a week or two until you can apologize and give it away because, you know, you can't drop it or dispose of it. And then the other thing is it just tells you the status of the town. So in areas where there's very little green, feeling of despair overshadows all else, go to acre D3 to see what is amiss. So essentially he's saying D3, where the bridge is, where I've been planting those flowers, there is not enough trees. Usually is what that refers to. This acre does not have enough trees. It is pretty barren. Yeah, there needs to be stuff planted over here. So there's not enough trees, there's not enough flowers, that kind of deal. And I'm not worrying too much about counting trees in the acres and stuff. That's going to be coming later. But what I have been doing at least, and just especially when I was shaking all those trees looking for stuff, is you notice that some of the trees in this game can actually grow next to each other, and it makes it kind of impossible to walk past some areas. Essentially what you have to do is you have to be able to walk one complete circle around the trees. If you can't run all the way around a tree, then the game considers that unhealthy tree growth or, you know, basically not good. So you have to cut the trees around them so that there's no trees that are touching each other, or cut down trees that are growing directly next to buildings or growing, you know, next to a rock or something. So I'm going to plant... I'm going to just see if I can plant this here. Oh, yeah, I can. Cool. Just, you know, trying to plant some stuff around some of the nooks and crannies in town. Also trying to make it so I have a better chance of getting a snail the next time it rains. All right, well, I think that's about it for this episode. I'm going to go do some daily tasks, which includes digging some stuff up and working on my house. And then I think that's going to be about it for me today on the game. I don't think I'm going to do too much else. in town. Um, I might go run. I probably won't even go run back to the island. I think I'm just going to be hanging around here for a bit. Oh, wow, dang. I've been getting really lucky with this one. Oh, Mallory! Mallory! Why did you do this to me? I was on a roll, Mallory. Come on. Am I eating properly? This is what you had to walk over here to tell me about? You see me hitting a rock with a shovel, and money bags are popping out of it. But you come over to talk to me about making sure I'm eating properly and having a healthy diet? What in the world? Okay, what do you want? You better entertain me with something better. Um, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I got like 1,000 bells out of this. God darn it, Mallory. I also need to do a town tune. I'll work on that stuff soon. You know, I've kind of did through a lot of the stuff at the start now. Now that it's gonna be a long time until we pay off the mortgage, and I'm kind of running out of things to show off based from the basics still. I'm going to be taking some time to essentially, I don't know, work on things like making patterns, working on my melody, doing some other stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.